Hello, race fans. This is Mark here again with another entry from Manthey Grello Racing. This one being the number one car. This is a Porsche 911 GT3 R, run by Manthey Grello Racing, which is a fan favorite in Europe as they are a German-based team. And when these guys race at the Nürburgring, the fans go nuts. They absolutely love them. This particular livery was raced in 2019 at the 24 Hours Nürburgring by Leach, Patrick Pilet, Fred McLickey, and my favorite, Nick Tandy. And this car is absolutely gorgeous. So let's take a look. All IXO cars are die-cast cars, and this is no exception. It comes attached to a plastic base with acrylic jewel cover that you see here. What is really cool about this particular offering from IXO, quite frankly, is the packaging. And as you know, I've done an entire video on packaging and presentation, and this one is really, really cool. I mean, look at that. Manthey Grello all over it. It bleeds it. It's on the inside, it's on the outside. Even the back of the car continues the theme of the wrap and the livery on it. And of course, the bottom of it, like all boxes, is your typical, that you see with Manthey Grello on it, and all the legalese that you get. But this is a box that is really cool. I keep all my boxes regardless. This is a box that I would treasure. I would offer one word of warning. Many of you that have IXO cars, you know how hard it is to get these cars out of the boxes, and I can't tell you how many of them I have torn up trying to get the car out. My recommendations when you first get the car is use a pair of tweezers to pull it open. That way you don't damage the cardboard packaging, which is somewhat fragile. So anyhow, let's get to this car. This is the number one 911 GTR, as I had mentioned, entered by Manthey Racing, a German team. And this particular car was in the 24 Hours of Nürburgring in 2019. It has the number one on it because in 2018, it was the winner of the 2018 24 Hours of Nürburgring. And if you see my other video, you know that that this team is basically an extension of a Porsche factory team. All the drivers are Porsche factory drivers. This one has Richard Leach, Patrick Pilet, Fred McLickey, and Nick Tandy, all Porsche factory drivers, as is the number 911 car. So this is basically just Porsche's German entry into the European Le Mans series. But it doesn't take anything away from the car and the livery. This one is a green livery with yellow accents. They have the yellow and green 911, which you've seen. They've also got an orange one as well. I have not seen that in diecast, but if I do, I will scoop it up. And speaking of in diecast, this particular car and its sister car, the 911, are available on Manthey Grello's website for 25 euros. Which is probably, I think that's probably about maybe $35, $40 US dollars. A really, really good deal if you want to pick it up. I would highly recommend it. These are great cars. As I've spoken of before, currently the IXO cars are really starting to almost rival Spark in quality and features and everything else. This is a really cool car. As you can see, the wheels are beautifully done in black. You can see the silver rotors and the brake calipers underneath it. The the orange mirrors, just really cool. We got the antenna on the top. To really understand this car, you have to kind of follow it from the front. So we're going to go to the front and take a look at it. The theme is they have these directional arrows that start at the nose of the car and go all the way to the rear. It's a shame they don't go over the rear wing because that would be really cool. But anyhow, they start here, and take a look at the front of the car. You notice it's got an absolutely massive and gorgeous front splitter with Manthey Racing on it. You see the dive planes on the side. You've got fog lights. You've got the tow hook. You have great looking Porsche headlamps on it. You go down the front, it takes you all the way to the cabin, and you can see some of the interiors of the cabin right there, including the seat belts, the steering wheel, and some of the other components, some of the framework. Very, very cool. You go along the top, and the arrows just keep going past the aerial. In fact, let's just take a top view look at this car. And there you can see it all the way. As you can see, the theme goes all the way to the back of the car. Ain't that cool? And the sides are just as neat. Now let's take a look at the back of the car. And there you see the continuation of it. And as usual, you've got, this is a 911 GT3, so the engine is a rear engine, which means it's right under that rear wing, and the exhaust, come out the back in the center, as they typically do in all these cars. Tow hook there, beautiful taillights. The rear wing looks gorgeous. I mean, that is just, it's badass. Let's just face it. Unfortunately, you can't see any of the interior details as they are they're covered with this opaque glass, or in the case of the race car, I'm sure it's plastic, covering. If this were the mid-engine RSR, they would have had louvers in there to help cool the engine, but they don't in the case of the GT3. Now, if we take a look at the side of the car, the theme again starts at the nose. You see the arrows as they start around the dive plane. They continue up the side of the car, past the number, past the wheel wells, and they wrap all the way around to the back of the car, as you see there. Ain't that cool? It's just neat. I like it. I think it's absolutely badass. Very cool car. Very, very nice entry here from IXO. Folks, if you can get your hands on these, do it. Great deal right now on their website. This is an older car, so they're probably trying to get rid of them to get newer stock. And 25 euros, pretty good deal. See ya. Thanks.